and welcome to Your Coaching Journey, a podcast for doctors about coaching. Whether you're a coaching doctor, a doctor who is learning to coach, or a doctor who would like to build coaching into your professional life, then this is the podcast for you.
Hello, I'm Tom Dillon, and with me today is my co-host and business partner, Helen Leathers. Hi, Helen, how are you?
I'm wonderfully well.
You're just stealing my line.
I am stealing your line. I have coffee.
Good.
How are you?
I'm feeling mischievous today. I'm in one of those moods.
Oh, gosh, here we
Got
go.
the wind up my tail. That is an expression, isn't it?
It is usually for cats.
Oh, okay, cats.
Yeah. Or perhaps, as today's episode has been trailed a little bit, big cats.
Yeah. Okay.
What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about something that's close to my heart, but we're going to start with a knock-knock joke.
Well, jokes are fairly close to your heart, aren't they? You do like...
Yeah, I do like a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The interrupting leopard.
The interrupting... God.
Now, for listeners, I am well known for my big cat impressions.
Yeah.
That was my
remarkably
leopard.
like that.
Well, that's my leopard.
Okay, good.
The others don't sound anything like
Okay, give us a lion.
a lion.
Okay, give us a cheetah.
Cheetah.
You can... They're hardly
See,
similar at all.
I know.
Absolutely.
It's very nuanced, the big cat impression repertoire. Right, let's try another one.
Okay. Is it a big cat?
No, it's not a big cat.
Okay, go for it.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The interrupting giraffe.
The interrupting giraffe who?
The interrupting giraffe who would never dream of interrupting a coaching client.
Okay. I don't
No,
understand.
well, obviously giraffes don't make any noise, do they? So they wouldn't interrupt at all. But the point is...
Did you have to Google that to see if giraffes don't make a
No,
noise?
when have you ever heard a giraffe saying anything?
It's just on the script you've written rabbit, and so I'm wondering if rabbits actually make a noise, and you found out too late that they did.
No,
No, okay.
rabbits don't either. I thought we were going with leopards,
Okay.
and I thought more of a wildlife.
Let's go with giraffes.
Giraffe.
Okay.
I think if there's a lion about or something, they do. Yeah. So let other people, let the other giraffes know. Apparently. No, come on. We've got podcasts to do. You can't. Right, I'm going to carry on regardless. So what we're talking about today, today we're talking about interrupting in the coaching room. So she's still laughing. Sorry, people. So this is, this is something that as an organisation we have a view on, and I think we are both in agreement about interrupting in the coaching room. So it could be quite a short episode. But we'll start the conversation and see where we go.
I finished laughing, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Good, you're learning. So let's start with why a coach might feel the need to interrupt or interject, which has become a more palatable way of saying the same thing. I think interjections are we are going to be part of the coaching conversation, but people have started to use what would be an interjection as an excuse for interrupting.
I was going to say, it's just another word for the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously in coaching, the role of the coach is to guide the conversation in a way that supports the coachee's self-discovery and growth. But it's a conversation. It's dynamic. It's unpredictable. The coachee might get stuck. They might, start rambling, veer off course. They might need a moment to refocus. So obviously, within the conversation, we are going to be asking questions. We're going to be playing back what we're hearing. We're going to have a comment here and there. So just, those things are part and parcel of the coaching conversation. So those are what I would class as interjections within a conversation.
The comments between, the questions between the coaches.
Yes. And just, maybe when they have stopped. Say,
in a pause.
In a pause, yeah. was just trying to think of something witty about leopard's paws there.
Can we not?
No.
Because we're just not going to continue. I'm going to be in a heap on the floor.
Why the big paws? So we are going to be part of the conversation, and that's important. So if they go around in circles, then, just interjecting in some way, playing back what you're hearing, asking questions that are going to be. So I think a great example of that is where someone has told their story. Now, it's perfectly possible that if you ask them another question about the detail of their story, they would go over their story again, and keep going back and retelling the story. And we don't really want that in a coaching room. Once is enough. So what we might do at that point is say, what would you like to have happen? Just to move us on to the next part of the conversation. So that's a good interjection. But we're not going to interrupt the story.
Yeah, so add a convenient point.
Yeah. So that's the distinction we're drawing between interrupting and interjection. So I think what we're saying is interjection good, interrupting bad. Yes. That's kind of our basic message. And that's how, like we stand by that. And we've been doing this work for a long time. I've been coaching for 15 years. And that's where I've got to in my coaching. So I make no bones about that. And obviously other people may well have a different perspective. But Nancy Klein, who I don't agree with everything Nancy Klein talks about, but I do agree that the coachee, knowing they're not going to be interrupted, giving them that promise means that they are more free to talk. If they think they might be interrupted, then they'll be slightly hesitant. I think if we promise that we're not going to interrupt, well, they just get that message from the way that we behave in the coach room, then I think it frees up the coaching. So one thing that allowing them that space does is give them the chance to think to the end of their thoughts. And I've seen people that don't let the coaches do that. And you can see in their face, they're still thinking. And the coach comes in with their fantastic reflection or incisive question. All right, all right. When they're in the middle of it. I think it deepens the relationship. I know that some of the coaches that I have, that relationship is there because I listen. And no one else does that in their world. I know that. That's why they come to me, because I listen. I
would challenge that maybe all, not just some of your coaches. That's just my thought.
Yeah. So I think it validates their importance in the conversation. What they have to say is important to them and to me, and I want to hear it. And I think it enriches the conversation because they do have that time and space to say whatever it is that they're thinking. They're not going to get cut short.
Yeah.
So that's very much my view of the world, and it's how I show up in the coaching room. I'm watching the coachee intently. I'm trying to calibrate when they've finished their thinking, because there will come a point where they've stopped thinking and they're just looking back at you, waiting for you to interject. So I'm calibrating that all the time. So I'm still working as a coach to work out what's going on there. So not just focusing on their sentence, but actually their thinking. Have they paused to think some more? And then are they going to carry on? And yeah, online it's quite difficult because sometimes there will be that pause and you'll think, oh, they're finished. But if you wait, they will carry on. So
yeah, and I think that's a good point, isn't it? That if you're wondering, wait some more. It's quite hard to imagine being a different way in coaching, really, isn't it?
Yeah, except, well, it's not hard to imagine being a different way because I've seen people be a different way. And I think that only serves to strengthen my view that what I believe is right. And you could say, well, it's not really a confirmation bias. But I do see people do what I do really well, and I like that. I see other people do it a different way and justify the way that they do it in a way that frustrates me and annoys me and speaks to me of their ego.
Yeah.
They tend to be people that are quite, I don't know. Probably not officious. That's probably not the right word, but people that want to have their say. And having their say in the coaching room detracts from the coachee thinking for themselves.
Yeah. It's like their own brilliance.
Yeah, I've got to bring my brilliance to the coaching. Yeah. I'm going to interrupt you. So both coaches that I'm thinking of that do this, they're both women. They both have written books about coaching. And one of them, well, I think they both write. I've not read one of them, but the one that I've read, she justifies her interrupting and saying, well, I contract with my coachee that it's okay for me to interrupt them.
Oh, that's okay then.
Well, if you are sitting down with a new coachee and say, oh, I do tend to interrupt my coachees in service of you, and you're thinking, is that okay? What coachee is going to go, no, actually, it's not okay. Don't ever interrupt me. That's not going to happen. Yeah. They're not going to say that, are they? No. They're going to go, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then you've got freedom to do it. And I think that's unhelpful.
Yeah.
I don't really see the need. And then the other one, I've not read her book, but she is again very insistent. And I've watched her do a demonstration where she's actually said, I'm going to interrupt you there because you said something important and I don't want to miss that. And I'm thinking, no, just wait till she's finished speaking.
Yeah.
Wait for an appropriate pause in the conversation. Just hold on to that. Make a note of it if you can't remember it, but just wait and then bring it back and say, oh, you mentioned earlier this. Like, that's possible.
Absolutely.
And what was interesting in watching that demonstration was I could see the person, she was still talking, but she was also still thinking. And when when the coach went back and said, oh, carry on, she said, oh, I forgot what I was talking about now.
Can't now. Yeah.
It's gone. Completely lost it. And who knows what she was thinking. It could have been the most significant part of the coaching. Could have been the thing that she was thinking of saying next.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't impressed. And she's, this woman is highly paid American executive coach who's revered. And I think you're not very good at this at all.
Because you keep interrupting.
That's awful to say, doesn't it? I don't like to criticise other coaches, but come on.
I just go on the basis of how it feels to be interrupted.
Yeah. And
we're both from big families. We're both one of 4 siblings in our individual families. And we know what it's like to be in a big family and everyone's talking over each other. And so that becomes the way of being. But to start a story, to start an answer to a question, and to be perpetually interrupted is not pleasant.
No, and I noticed this when we were with your family down in the Cotswolds, sat around the dinner table of an evening, and there's several conversations going on at once, and people are cutting across each other and talking over one another. And I think because of my coaching training and my the times that I do spend, I'm just sitting there taking it all in and really not fighting for airspace. I'm just...
Well, you have to do one or the other.
Well, yeah.
You either join in the fight or you sit in the corner quiet.
And I think that's quite normal in big families.
Yeah.
And quite normal with people who are extroverts to have that cut and thrust of a conversation. And extroverts don't tend to get upset about it. Introverts would get more upset about it. But I think in a coaching room, if you are having your say about what's going on for you, and someone, no, I'm going to stop you there. Oh, well, no, don't do that.
So what other reasons, apart from we've got the sort of that learned behaviour, which we shouldn't be taking into the coaching room, but maybe some people do. What are the reasons, do you think, that coaches feel the need to interrupt?
I think some of it's fear-driven. I think they are fearful of whether the coachee thinks they're a good coach or not. So I think they feel like they have to get involved and they have to make their presence known in order to feel like they're adding value to the conversation. So if they keep interrupting and keep adding their comments, then maybe the coachee will think they're doing a good job. And I fully accept that quite often when we're training coaches, they will say, oh, I didn't really do a lot in that session. I only spoke a couple of times. Great. Brilliant. Well done. Yes. So I think that, and also maybe a fear, a bit like this lady I was talking about, a fear of forgetting what the coachee said halfway through their monologue. And you think, oh, I'm not going to remember that. I need to stop them now and ask now. well, you are capable of jotting a note down if you really need to.
Yeah.
But
you only need to write one word down to remind you.
So that's another thing. I think then there is that, as I mentioned earlier, that ego comes into play. That I know I know the way this should go, and I'm going to tell you what I think. I've got stuff that I want to share, and I'm going to bring that to the table, and I'm going to look clever because I do that. I'm going to ask you a clever question, but at the same time interrupt your thinking. And maybe a lack of respect for the person in front of them. Maybe it is just that being one up from, there's a power dynamic in coaching anyway, isn't there? That you're the coach, you have a coachee. Well, I know best. I'm the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we know coaching isn't about knowing.
And maybe some of it at times is just disagreeing with what's being said and thinking, no, you're talking nonsense. I'm going to stop you from doing that.
So there's not sitting in non-judgment, is there?
Yeah. And I think maybe finally, just boredom with what's being talked about.
I've never been bored with what my coach used.
I remember one guy I was...
Careful.
It's so long ago now, but I was quite... And to be fair, I wasn't well resourced, so I'd done 4 sessions that day, 1.5-hour sessions. So it's the last session of the day. He was a lawyer, and he just didn't stop talking. He just droned on and on about something very boring. And I thought I was going to fall asleep. I'm going to have to get up and go and get a glass of water in a moment because I can feel my eyes going. But that's probably maybe a year into me coaching.
And you would never do 5 sessions?
I would, four it was. But yeah, and after that experience, I said to the organisation, I'm not doing 4 sessions a day anymore. I didn't feel like I gave him my best. I mean, he was being very dull, but... But
you wouldn't have had the same impact had you seen him first?
No, it would have been fine. He'd still have been dull, but I would... I shouldn't speak about it like that.
No, it's our role in the coaching room.
It is like, and I am, genuinely. But if I think back now, it was a leadership development program that people were offered coaching on, and they didn't necessarily want coaching. They hadn't got anything to be coached about, some of them, or so they thought. So he was coming not really needing coaching, just wanting to talk about how good he was at what he did, really. So it was one of those, there wasn't really anything for me to get involved in. So, and it was 1.5 hours. So, but, still didn't interrupt him.
Even though you were bored.
But yeah, that's probably the last time I felt bored, and that's probably 13 years ago now.
So we are not going to interrupt.
No.
That's our stance on interruptions. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
What about interjection?
Yeah, so but I think the interjection bit is stuff that we would all do quite readily in the coaching room anyway. So asking clarifying questions, they might talk, and you might need to come in at some stage and say, I don't quite understand that. So just asking them to say, explain that to me, or how are you feeling about that? Just to dig a little deeper into the conversation. So not interrupting. This is like a normal
inner pause,
interject and ask them to reflect. So maybe, and then that normal playing back of it sounds like you're feeling a bit conflicted between these two choices, that sort of thing. And obviously at some point we're going to be summarising what they've said in a very succinct way that doesn't take up their airtime. But yeah, maybe what I'm hearing is, you'll feel a fear of failure is holding you back, maybe that sort of thing. Yeah.
So we've got gaps in the storytelling, gaps in what the coach is saying. We're going to interject with, we've just said, clarifying questions, reflective statements, summarising, perhaps reframing. When should we not interject?
So I think when we can see that the coachee is deep in the thought process, so they may well have paused, but we can see the cogs are still turning.
And you can see it in their face.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've sat for an hour with someone watching the cogs turning and never felt the need to interject because I could see it happening.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, he said, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. But I could just see that he was thinking about it. The cogs were going.
And that's the thing to remember, isn't it? It's not silent in the coachee's head when they're thinking.
No.
So you just have to...
They're just away. They don't even know we're there. Yeah. And when the coachees expressing emotions, I think just letting them sit with their emotions can be really helpful. Let them process what's going on for them.
And to that point, even if you're in person, if someone is emotional and has tears, we wouldn't even pass a box of tissues.
No.
We would wait. There might be tissues on the table, but that is an interruption to that expression.
Yeah. And just don't interject when you're just doing it to take over the conversation.
Yeah.
Just we're there to guide rather than for us to hold court and
show our brilliance.
Yeah.
So we're holding space,
yes,
aren't we? And we only want to intervene when we feel we can help the coachee move forward.
Yeah, but a lot of coaches would think, well, I interrupt because I'm helping them move forward.
Because
don't use that idea as a way of thinking, oh yeah, I need to interrupt. So yes, we want to move people forward, and that's where our interjections will come in, but still not interrupting.
So in summary, what top tips would you like to leave our listeners with around interjecting?
I think be careful of timing. Just be mindful that, especially online, it can sort of look like someone has paused and you might have a question that is ready, or you might think, oh, I need to play that back. But just pause a little longer. Don't jump in. Let them be sure that they've finished, that they've thought to the end of their thoughts. Keep it brief. So I'd say to a lot of our trainees, this isn't a medical summary. You don't have to play back everything that you've just heard. Just capture the essence of it. Just pick a couple of things out that you want to play back. So just keep that brief. Less of you, more of them. Make sure that you're asking good open questions that are going to continue their thinking, and trust the process. Don't feel that compulsion to be involved just to demonstrate your worth. Coaching is about encouraging them to think and to speak their thoughts, not about us proving our brilliance.
Yeah, the less of us in that space.
Yeah, the better. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want them to think they're doing it for themselves. In some ways, it's frustrating as a coach. Like, we do want them to think, because they are thinking for themselves. So we want them to have the autonomy, that empowerment. But I think that can be a bit of a frustration for us, because we think, well, they don't recognise that I've just done brilliant work there because I've listened. Like, no one's going to acknowledge that, really, are they?
No. Oh, I don't know. My clients
do they?
Do that sometimes.
Because you're brilliant. None of my clients do.
But that's because I asked for testimonials.
Yeah, I don't feel the need to feed my ego. I'm confident that I'm doing good work.
Good. And not interrupting. That's the message of this.
I do find it very difficult, actually, to ask coachees for testimonials, because it's a confidential space.
Yes.
If they give me a testimonial, they're kind of admitting they've had some coaching, and they might not be keen to do that. So that's kind of my stance on testimonials. But I'm a bit weird like that. Anyway, enough for today. I think that's a good account of interrupting leopards and big pauses. Or big pause. And yeah.
And just as we end, I'd really like you to just go back and redo your impression of the giraffe alerting the other giraffes to the lion. Awesome. That's going to stay with me.
I didn't know I had such a wide repertoire. I thought it was just big cats I was good at.
Yeah.
Giraffes as well.
Giraffes as well. I mean, to be fair, I would have liked to have heard the rabbit, but enough for today.
Who was the guy that used to do... Percy Edwards used to do animal impressions. Saw it at Temple Speech Rooms once. He's doing his bird impressions and things. Missed my vocation. Thank you, Alan. Enjoyed that today. Thank you very much.
See you next time.
See you next time, when we will be doing something completely different.
Brilliant. And no animal impressions in sight.
No animal. Oh, you never know. I might have found some new ones by then. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.